Hello students, good morning, welcome back. Today I am discussing again slice operation but with new things. Okay, last time I have access single row, single column, single value. Okay, more than one row, more than one column, entire row, entire values. But here today new thing is with the help of slice operation, with the help of slice operation, we can select a selected row and selected column with selected row and with selected column. You can see here I am showing some example. Selected row with selected column, slicing using steps for pandas data frame. Means in log or ilog we know very well, we always use a comma, and before comma always row slicing, or after comma always column slicing. So in row slicing, three things: stop, starting, stopping, and step. In column also three things: start, stop, and step. So you can see, suppose with the help of log, you can see df.log r0 colon r4 means all the rows from r0 means 3 2 3 4 7 4 6 8 5 6 9 2 8 8 4 6. But here I am using colon 2. Colon 2 means skip one row. So you can see in R0 3 2 3 4 7 4 6 8 will not include. Here include 5 6 9 2 and 8 8 4 6 not include. So this is R0 colon R4 colon 2. So this is our result. Means R0 means 3 2 3 3 4. R2 means 5 6 9 2. Okay. But in this particular selected row, I want to select particular columns for this selected row. So you can see here I am writing colon C1 colon C3. So you can see C0 row will not include because here I am already mentioned C1. C1 means 2, 3, 4 and C3 means in R2 row 6, 9, 2. So you can see only this highlighted selected value we will get with the help of above log statement. Means I have used step statement. Okay, here I am taking another example. You can see, suppose I want 7 5 8 and 6 9 4. You can see these are the selected row and in selected column. So for this purpose I am using step. You can see df.log r1 colon r3. So output is 7 4 6 8 5 6 9 2 8 8 4 6. Okay, but here comma I am using C0 colon C4 colon 2. So in this selected row I want to select selected column. So you can see 7 5 8 4 6 8 6 9 4 8 2 6. But here I am mentioning colon 2, C0 colon C4 colon 2 means skipping one column. So you can see 7 5 8 finally and 6 9 4 I will get. Okay, the same thing we can perform with the help of ilog, but we know very well ilog only for default label index or default label column index. So here you can simply see 0 colon 4 comma 2 means all the row 3 2 3 4 7 4 6 8 5 6 9 2 8 8 4 6. But here I am mentioning colon 2, 0 colon 4 colon 2. Colon 2 means skipping one row. So you can see 7 4 6 8 and 8 8 4 6 not include. Only I have 3 2 3 4 5 6 9 2. But in this selected row I want only 1 colon 4 columns. So you can see 0th column 3 5 will not include, only 2 3 4 and 6 9 2. So I already cut, and so this command give this result. So here new thing is we can only select our desired portion with the help of step, and I have completely mentioned before comma which row I want, and after comma in which row selected column I want. Okay, so you can see the last example with the help of ilog. So here I am mentioning 1 colon 4. So output is 1 colon 4. So output is 7 4 6 8 5 6 9 2 8 8 4 6. But here I am mentioning comma 0 colon 4. So for the selected row, the column is 7 5 8 4 6 2 6 9 4 8 2 6. But in this selected row I already use step, so 4 6 8 or 8 2 6 will not include. So this is an advanced slice operation, complete slice operation. With the help of, we can select the selected row, or in this selected row we can select selected column. Okay. Here you can see NumPy 2D and Pandas data frame axis concept. Axis, you know one thing very well, default axis is always axis 0. So we need not type axis is equal to 0. If we type, so no problem, but axis 0 is always default. Axis 0 means vertically we can perform calculation, anything vertically. But I want to perform horizontally operation, so always use axis is equal to 1. Axis is equal to 1 always we can type if you want to perform calculation horizontally. So here you can see axis 0. In NumPy we already use H-split, H-stack, means joining side by side. Always vertically perform column by column or side by side, you can see. And axis 1 we can see V-stack always horizontally perform, or row by row and line by line. You can see axis 0 means for a selected column or its all row. Selected column, so here selected column is 1. So 2 4 6 8, this is our selected column, and 0 1 2 3, these are all for the selected column, all these row. Axis 1 you can see for a selected row means 7 4 6 8 and 7 4 6, and including its particular column, so you can see. So these are the different thing, so we can use. Okay, here suppose I have a table. In a table we have so many numbers. We can say in our language a company data have different sales statistics, and I want to see and I want to calculate different type of statistics. So here Python provide a very good thing. We do not write long coding to get a important result. We simply use different type of Python statistical functions, and on our numerical data frame it will give easily output. We only remember the function name or its structure and how to use, and then we can apply our data frame and we will get the desired result. So here I am taking comparatively Pandas data frame as well as NumPy 2D array. You can see this is our data. You can clearly see this is our data in row and column. I already mentioned index position and line by line total and vertically total. You can see the same example here I am mentioning, same example, but I want to store this table First, comparatively, you can see, first I want to store this table in pandas data frame. So it's very simple process. Directly we can use import pandas as pd df.pd to data frame, or directly list inside list concept I have used to store this data. So you can see, we know very well the same data I want to store in numpy2d. So here same thing, here I am writing df.pd.data frame, here I am writing array is equal to numpy.array. Same thing here, but here I am using import numpy plus np. So first I want to store data in numpy2d array or pandas data frame. So we have two options to perform same thing. Either we can use the pandas data frame, or either we can use numerical 2D array. Okay, so we have two options. But you can see, suppose I want to sum all the values of this 2D data frame. All the values I want to sum complete. So here I am using df.sum. First is perform vertically sum, then dot sum again. So all the result of vertically sum will also again sum. So it will give the complete sum of entire data frame df dot sum 85. So here I am mentioning numpy dot sum. Here only one thing, numpy dot sum in array. So it will complete 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 7 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 5 plus 6. So complete and so on. You can see the 85. Okay, so here I am writing only simple np.sum in, or here I am mentioning df.sum. Only single small statement will sum all the values. So here one good thing is we need not use any kind of loop and so many coding. Only single simple statement give our result. So this is a good thing. Here suppose I want to sum vertically. You can see vertically means 3, 7, 5, 8. The sum is 23. 2, 4, 6, 8. The sum is 20. 3, 6, 9, 4. The sum is 22. 4, 8, 2, 6. The sum is 20. So you can send vertically column sum. So I want to sum vertically. So here I mention pd dot sum in bracket axis is equal to 0. Axis is equal to 0. This is default always. And vertically it performs. You can see 23, 20, 22 and 20. So you can see the same result we will get in pandas data frame. The same thing we can perform in numpy sum. Same thing. Here structure is small different. Here I am using np.sum and here I am mentioning R is our 2D array. Okay, comma axis is equal to 0. So we know very well axis is equal to 0 means vertically perform. So you can see 23, 20, 23, 20, 22 and 20. So simple single statement will give vertically sum, but I want to sum horizontally. So same thing, df.sum, but here I am changing axis is equal to 1. So axis is equal to 1 is always perform calculation horizontally. Horizontally you can see 3, 2, 3, 4. The sum is 12. 7, 4, 6, 8. Sum is 25. 5, 6, 9, 2. The sum is 22. 8, 8, 4, 6. Sum is 26. So we can also perform horizontally sum. Here only I am changing x is equal to 1. So 12, 25, 22 and 26. Same thing we can perform if we already store data in numpy2d array. So np.sum x is equal to axis is equal to 1. So here some part is different from pandas data frame syntax. Here I am using np.sum. The result is same. 12, 25, 22 and 26. Okay. So you can see in summarize, first we sum all the values, complete sum of entire data frame or pandas 2D, or we can horizontally line by line perform sum, or we can vertically perform sum, each column and each row, both NumPy and Pandas data frame. So you can see here I am using sum. So instead of sum we can use max. Instead of max we can use mean. MIN, minimum. Instead of minimum we can use mean. Mean means average. We can also perform median. We can also perform mode. We can also perform standard deviation. We can also perform variance. We can also perform only we can change sum. Instead of sum we can change max, mean, mode, variance, standard deviation, cum sum and so on, and also use quantile. Structure is same, only replace some change into different statistical operations, only one thing, then other structure is exactly same. Okay, but you keep in mind here NumPy we already use np.sum. Here I am using df.sum, and here I am np.sum is our standard method. In bracket we mention our 2D array variable name inside. So this is this new thing keep in mind, how to use in NumPy 2D array, how to use in Pandas data frame. Print df.size. Print df.size. Size means 16. Df.size is 16. 16 means total number of element. Here I am using df.count access is equal to 0. Count means vertically column by column how many values. So you can see in first column 4 values, second column 4 values and so on. And in horizontally df.count access is equal to 1. So you can see 4 4 4. So same thing we can use in NumPy 2D array, np.count underscore non-zero. np.count non-zero array axis is equal to 0 means vertically and axis is equal to 1 horizontally. Only change one thing. Okay, so you can see we can perform other statistical operation in the same way. We can perform mean, overall, line by line or column by column. We can perform max. Okay, we can perform mean. Mean means average, you can see. We can perform median. Okay, we can perform variance. You can see the result. We can perform standard deviation. Okay, overall, line by line, column by column. We can perform quantile. You can see quantile 25%. Okay, we can perform quantile in 50%, both in NumPy and Pandas. You can see we can perform 75% calculation in Pandas and NumPy 2D. You can see overall vertically and horizontally. You can see the result. We can perform 100% quantile both in NumPy and 2D array. You can see the structure is same. Last time I have used sum, but instead of sum I already one chain quantile. You can see cum sum, cumulative sum. This is called communicant. In static you can see communicant sum means suppose we have a set of values 2, 4, 6, 8. First we can take 2, then 2 plus 4, 6. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 plus 8, 20. So in this type, cum sum we always calculate. Cum sum calculate. Okay, this is our mode. Mode means most popular value in a set of value. In set of value, the most highest frequency we can say mode. So overall, line by line and column by column we can see. So we have sum, count, max, mean, quantile, 25%, 55%, 50%, 75, 100%, cum sum, cumulative sum, variance, standard deviation and mode. So there are various statistical operation we can perform in this way. Okay, here I am taking new thing, transpose. You can see transpose. Transpose means row convert into column and column convert into row. There is a very simple thing. In a data frame we simply use df dot capital T. We can also use transpose method, df dot transpose and empty bracket. But directly we can use the same thing, df dot T. So row converted to column, column converted to row, transpose. And the same thing we can write array dot T. Here T is capital, is compulsory. Here T is always compulsory. Okay. Now these are the simple thing. Suppose I have already discussed, but I want to revise again. Suppose when we have np.nan, np.nan means a null value in our language, or because data is missing or data is unknown, or we can say data is not available at this time. So we can use, we can't left blank, so here I am using np.nan. But when we have np.nan, so we can perform different type of operation, and we can perform counting. The result of counting we can see here. You can see simply I want to store this table in pandas data frame. So here we know very well how to store df pd dot data frame. So this is our table first, and I want to store this table in data frame. We know very well. Directly you can type list inside list concept. I have used here. We can also use dictionary concept, but in dictionary concept we can use key and values, and we can use curly braces. The same thing we can also use, but here I am using list inside list concept. So this is a simple way to store these values in pandas. Here I am writing df.log in bracket 0. Okay, df.log and bracket count 3. So you can see 3 np.nan 3 4. This is our 0 index row, but here I am using dot count. So here output is 3. Here np.nan will not count, only 3 3 4, to total 3 values. So you always keep in mind np.nan, this is not a value, so it will not count. Here I am using df.log in bracket 1 dot count in 1 index row 7 4 6 8. So total 4 values. So you can see here output is 4. Here np dot is not present, so it will count all the values. Suppose df.log colon comma 0 dot count. Here I am select 0 index column 3 7 5 8. So you can see the output is 4. And here I am using df.log colon comma 1 dot count. So in 1 you can see only np.nan. So only one data is missing, but so it will not, np.nan never count. So you can see only 4 6 8. So we can set total 3 values. So output is 3. So you always keep in mind np.nan never count. In exam, you suppose this statement you have, so you never count np.nan. You can skip this in counting. Okay students, here I am discuss one new thing, condition based find, count and replace even odd values in a data frame. This is a very interesting thing. Suppose I have this set of values. In set of values we have so many even numbers or odd numbers, you can see. But I want to count how many evens, how many odd without the help, without writing coding, without using loop concept. So here I am using import pandas spd, import numpy. First I want to store this value in a pandas data frame. Okay. Here one new thing is pandas data frame we can convert into numpy 2D array. It is possible. Simply we can write np.array or we can pass only df variable in this command. Error is equal to np.array in bracket df. So entire df value convert into numpy 2d array in arr array. Okay, because numpy provide so many easy method. So with the help of numpy method we can perform easily. So you can see, first I want to display even and odd values. So you can see here I am writing even is equal to np.extract. Here np represent entire data frame values. Here I am using np.extract method and mod 2 equal to 0. So it will select only even values. It will select only even values, comma df, and print even. You can see all only even value. And same command we can copy and paste here. Here I am using odd is equal to np.extract mod 2 equal 1 comma df. So you can see only odd values. So here you can see I am not using loop and any kind of long coding. Here I am simply writing np.extract method and it will give the odd values. Only single command will give result. Okay, here I want to count even values and odd values in this data frame. How many even, how many count. So here I am using even.count, np.count underscore non-zero or mod 2 is equal to 0. So the same thing. So you can see total 11 even values, or the same thing odd count np.count underscore non-zero or mod 2 is equal to 1. So it will give total odd value. So here new thing is simple numpy count non-zero function will count only even or odd values. So here I am not using any kind of loop or long coding. Here simple this method will count even or odd. Here new thinking, we can also replace even or odd values. I want to replace odd values 0 and even values into 1. So here I am using np.where method and array mod 2 is equal to 0. So all the even value will replace by 0 and np.where x mod 2 equal 1. So all the odd value change replaced by 1. You can see this is our data frame. In this all the even values will replace by even 0 and all the odd value replaced by 1. So here three important function will give important analysis. Okay students, one thing I want to share. Some student did not give their assignment. So please complete your assignment in timely and submit your assignment in timely, because regularity is important. Even you skip this assignment series, so our practice will not perform. So submit your assignment timely. Okay, thank you students.